Happy Sunday Fun Day, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your hosts and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. What are you having this evening?
Oh, you know me, Tito's, cranberry, and orange. Mr. Nick, you need to tell the people what you're drinking and our three things for the show.
Well, I am drinking back to my J. Lure Cabernet, Seven Oaks Cabernet, as per usual, as you like to say. Well, we are reviewing WWE Royal Rumble. So, Nikki, I've got my three things for you. Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair have won the Royal Rumble. 2 titles were retained, and Alexa Bliss has returned to WWE. It is Sunday, February 2nd, 2025. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
To the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he let it roll. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
Nikki, we are back again this week. Today, we are reviewing WWE Royal Rumble 2025. Taking it away, Nikki, we had a lot to get to.
Yes.
In a 4-match PLE, a lot.
So many things. Lots.
Over 3 hours worth of wrestling and post-production. Overall thoughts before we get to it.
I think this was a really good Rumble. I think on the men's and women's side, I will get to how you feel about the winners, but like her production was fantastic. That I said it all last night. That lower third was amazing. It gave it like that sports feel, but it was like, hey, like 6 people active, 3 people eliminated. Like this person's coming out, and it's like gave like the country that they were from, their height and weight. It just made it feel like so much real and sportsy. But then it also helped because sometimes, like, how many times you're watching the Royal Rumble, it's like, what number's next? Who's coming out? And it's like entering next, number 7, you know, and then counting down. Perfect.
I know it's very confusing, especially after when you start getting to the middle of matches, like who's still around, who's left. They actually, they had elimination.
Yeah, when the person got eliminated, it was like Rey Mysterio was eliminated. And then it was showing like Jacob at 2, and he eliminated Andrade and whatever, and Escobar, like it showed, which I just think is so good. I need that in a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, there was a lot of interwoven storylines, a lot of different things that we're seeing here. I thought as we get to the different Rumbles, like a few surprises, like Chelsea Green getting as many eliminations as she got, I thought was kind of surprising, especially
my girl.
Lash Legend. That was a really big surprise to me. But there's a lot to get to on Royal Rumble. We want to hear from all of you. Let us know in the comments below, in the chat below. Before you do all that, hit the old like and subscribe if you haven't yet. We want to hear what your thoughts are on WWE Royal Rumble 2025. I'm not sure if that's right, but we're hoping it is.
No, it's not, because it's blue for indie. Also, then I just want to boo Def Rebel. It's like a guessing game sometimes of like when the music hits, you're like, what the flip is that? And you have to wait for their draw. And I'm like, oh, like some of the songs are not. Anyway, boo Def Rebel.
Well, fair enough. Well, Nikki, so we get to it. We're going to kick off chronological order. Like,
also how we like to start.
We always like to start with the ladies, as you like to say.
Ladies.
So let's get to it.
Get it.
If you didn't catch it live, we'll catch you to the end of the WWE Women's Royal Rumble as we catch a new winner is coming towards WrestleMania, but an old familiar face. Nikki, Charlotte is the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Lol.
As I correctly predicted Friday night on this show, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Yeah, so everyone and their
Bold
sisters and their
prediction.
mothers and their brothers. We all knew she was winning. We were all hoping I was hoping she wasn't going to win. But she is the first two-time women's Royal Rumble winner.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the Women's Royal Rumble match in general? And what are your thoughts on Charlotte winning and headlining another WrestleMania?
My thoughts, again, I'm pretty sure she's gonna go and challenge Tiffy. Again, to me, she didn't need to win the Royal Rumble to challenge Tiffy. I don't know, would she come out at 27?
Charlotte?
20 something. She came out in the 20s. I believe 27. Someone will correct me. But
23.
I thought it was.
I want to say 23.
Okay, well, someone Google it for me.
Someone
I have the men's one pulled up. I don't have the women's pulled up. But again, when she came out, I was like, oh yeah, she's winning. I loved how pretty much. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I was right.
About 27. Oh, there we go. What's up, Josh? Oh.
But I loved how, like, maybe because of the women's roster is so stacked, especially the NXT women, and how many NXT women came out last night was fantastic. Literally, your only like legend was Trish, and if you want to count, I don't know where Nikki falls in that for you, but again, she's a return, like an older generation. Sounds stupid, but not the current crop. But it's not like a Trish. She's in between all that. But because I remember like so many, especially the first one, because there was no roster. And I love that they didn't rely heavily on the nostalgia coming in, like a nod to Trish, but so much of the young girls. And shout out, because she's not my favorite person. I've said this on the show, but having Roxanne Perez go from number 3 to the final 3 with Nia Jax and Charlotte, like they're gonna strap the rocket to that girl. I don't know, because she dropped the belt to Julia, the NXT Women's belt to Julia. If Mama's on her way up to Maine, but
Oh yeah, no,
she
Roxanne
had an amazing showing.
Honestly, aside from the showing that they gave Jordan Grace last year, this is one of the best women's performances in terms of going like coast to coast.
Yeah.
And they're definitely going to give her fair due on the main roster. I think it's inevitable, especially with all this. Like when she was one of the last 2, like when she was one of the last 4, I didn't expect it. I was like, oh, they're going to give her a good 30-minute run to showcase her abilities. Like because I don't think she looked terribly strong in any way. Like, she wouldn't look dominant. I mean, she's not going. She's kind of small framed anyway, but like. She had you take the Rey Mysterio treatment. Like you're gonna be one of these great stars that just outlast, and that's how you're just clever and cunning, and you can do whatever it takes to stay in these matches.
Yeah, I just said like with her, the storyline at NXT revolving around Bayley. Obviously, she just lost the belt to Julia like a month or 2 ago, against Stephanie Becker coming out. And then like Bayley's been, down in NXT. Like I thought she'd be more like in that storyline, but it's like her. I don't know. Is there going to be something with her and Nia, with maybe a program with Charlotte before Charlotte gets to Tiffy?
Yeah, I mean, I thought again. I mean, the amount. I was kind of surprised at the amount of NXT names that they call up more main roster-ish names, I would say.
Well, yeah, well, because
like
you have Julia and Stephanie, who are your big 2 new signings this year. Then Roxanne, obviously, who was your women's champion for very long. She just dropped it. Then you had Jada Parker, which again, if you listen to our end of your show, Mikey gave her the shout out of like, was it most improved breakout star? Anyway, Mikey loves her. We all love her. I'm missing one, and then Lash Legend.
Yes.
who came out looked fantastic.
Yeah, I think
But
normally it's not necessarily the champions, right, that get put into the matches. Like the NXT women's and men's champions, I feel like you don't see that as much. I think you see more people who don't have belts that you might consider calling up.
Yeah. To me, this is all their heavy hitters from the women's.
Yeah, no, it was. That was
they've already flirted with Lash Legend being on Main. When her and Shakar Jackson were coming up, they had, when before Jade got attacked in the parking lot, they had their tag team matches.
Yeah, no, it's fair. And, to be honest, a lot of great spots in this match. We talked about it. Your prediction to win this,
Girl,
Jordynne
she was
Grace,
phenomenal.
unfortunately, did not have another great showing.
Had a great showing, did not
pull it off. Yeah, like this move, I'm gonna bring it up here. This Death Valley driver to Piper Niven,
the rolling Death Valley driver.
Yeah, the rolling, and just
so good.
It would actually, if she does a move after it, it could be an awesome finisher too. Like do that into like some sort of like moonsault or backflip or something like that. But unbelievable. Honestly, again, after last year's dominant performance, how could she follow it up? I thought this was a great way to showcase her. Mm-hmm. And I know you got angry because you're young screen. You're like, oh my god, she's going back to NXT because.
Well, that's what I'm worried about because she got. And I'm just like, I want her on me, and I'm worried she's gonna go to NXT again. Nothing wrong with NXT, but I'm just like, I think she's main ready, so I don't know if she's gonna be a quick cup of coffee in NXT, but I rather see her on main. I think it's interesting that like her and Naomi. Obviously, Naomi did her tour of duty in TNA for a little bit, and Jordan's last title reign, she got the belt off Naomi Trinity, and they were hugging, and Bianca Belair like snatched Jordan. It was like, what are you doing? And I was like, ooh, I want to know what's going on there.
Exactly. So maybe that's the hint at Steven talked about this, Naomi and Bianca working together, and they were the ones who took out Jade together. That'd be interesting. Yeah,
or she like weirdly like, no, like you're getting like not maybe possessive of her, but like you can't like you're with me, you're my tag team partner, you can't be friends with anybody else. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting because people have been calling for, I know Lisa's not a fan, but people have been calling for Bianca to turn heel for a while now. So her getting mad at Naomi for hugging someone, and then her husband could maybe turned heel in the tag match, but it's like, we'll get to that, but maybe heelsies are brewing.
Exactly. Well, talking about just this move set, like I said, which all derived from Jordynne Grace's huge Death Valley driver, rolling Death Valley driver. On this show, for all the pay-per-views, the PLEs that we review and recap, we have what we call our Big Nick energy moment of the night. We each pick one. For me, this was my Big Nick energy moment of the night, this rolling Death Valley driver. So I'm going to stamp it Big Nick energy. Trying out a little new things so we don't get praise be to he with the copyright laws. Very disturbing on Friday night on one of our best shows. Anyway, we digress. So yes, this was definitely my Big Nick energy moment of the night. Let us know in the chat what your Big Nick energy moment was, if it was in this match in particular, but in general, we want to hear from all of you. Yes, Nikki, let me catch up on some of the comments here. Javier agrees. He said it was an amazing move. And he did think she was going to win the Royal Rumble. Yeah, I mean, she did have a lot of...
Again, I want her and Rhea Ripley in a match. I think we all want to watch that match.
Yeah. No, it would be. It would be great. But yes, this was my Big Nick energy moment of the night. But there was a lot more to come in this match. This is just the first of many shocking moments on the night in the Women's Royal Rumble because, Nikki, Alexa Bliss is back.
Oh, I yelled.
We might argue back in black. Nikki, Alexa Bliss is back.
Yes. There were so many things, like, I know Michael Cole, like, the internet got it wrong. Like, they were saying she's not coming back. It got delayed. Their contract, they're nowhere near each other. She went on Instagram, posted a picture of her holding her daughter and was like, if you need me, I'll be here for a while. And you're just like, oh, she's not coming. And her music hit, and rewatching it, such a huge pop. Like, honestly, louder for Alexa than they were for Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
Like, huge. And then, like, on the back of her jacket was, like, Fiend Forever, but then it said, like, Friends Forever. She came out with Lily, so I think something's going to happen with Howdy and that whole...
So that is the question. Where does Alexa Bliss go from here now that she has returned to WWE?
I thought it would have been great if after this, they had Nikki come in the Royal Rumble and have a little thing there. But I wonder if that's the promo. I'm assuming she's going to be on SmackDown if that's where the Wyatt family is, the Wyatt Six. So I don't know if she's going to come out and cut a promo and they're going to come out, or like I don't know how they're going to get back in the fold. But again, with the jacket, the Lily doll,
but the dirt.
I know. Dude. So it was just like, it's such a good pop. It's so good to see her. She looked great in the ring, doing her normal. I love when she does. I'm not even gonna be able to do.
Hopes it a one-off. I think Alexa's a one-off. Interesting. Josh, you're gonna have to call in later and explain that. Explain yourself,
young man. I don't know.
That's it. So yeah. So I guess a lot of people say, is she back? Or is it a one-time thing? I think she's back. I think Bliss is back for sure.
I mean, you can't come out as your goddess gimmick. Don't come out with all fiendy. With your Lily doll, with the jacket, I don't know, her in all black again. Like, this doesn't feel like a one-off.
Yeah.
Especially after the pop she got. Like, you're going to want her on your TV. Like, Triple H isn't fucking stupid. Like, he heard the pop. Had he, they got to sell those Lily dolls. Steven's right. So,
Yeah. It's money. Yeah, he said they plugged merch for her. She's back.
Yeah.
Steven said it.
But again, I don't know what she calls it. When just like all the spring handboard stuff, the flippy do things that she does, and like the flippies. I don't know. I love her. Again, she hasn't been on our TVs in like 2 years. They said when she obviously had the baby. I don't know. I'm excited. I really hope it's not a one-off. Oh, you have it.
Your little flip.
I know. Like everyone booed when she got eliminated. So again, there's no way this is a one-off. I want her on my TV. I'm really interested. I hope this breathes life back into the Wyatt Six.
Yeah,
because they need something, and whether they funny with Alexa or I would love for like obviously Alexa and Nikki have the chemistry even before this. I would love to see like her and like Loomis being her heavy. I'm into this. Again, Alexa could be heel face, whatever they're going to make this out to be. Maybe she does make them a little more heely. Again, she's great in the mic. I think not taking anything away from Bo or Uncle Howdy, Taylor Rotunda, because again, the video packages, but I feel like him on a mic in a live crowd, I don't think he has that.
Well, I like the idea of like if she's more leader, because again, she was closer with Bray. Well, they're both, I guess, more flesh, but you could argue like she was the kind of Mrs. To him. So like that, it could be like we're coming back to claim like you still haven't finished your story, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not doing it right yet. You've assembled the team, but not to the level that it needs to be. So I could totally see Alexa Bliss being like the mastermind behind the Uncle Howdy, group and just kind of pulling the strings as well and getting it to a whole level. Because again, we haven't seen, my biggest disappointment for 2024 was the Wyatt Six because they had so much hype and we thought they were going to go to a whole other level, and we haven't seen it yet. And I think this is maybe the tip for them that gets them to that level.
Yeah, I'm hoping
maybe main event status for Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy. Like, I'm not saying they're going to win belts or anything like that.
I wouldn't mind seeing them tag champions at one point, but I agree with you. I'm hoping this new life, maybe a fresh coat of paint already. I don't know. I hope this is at least to good things for everybody, because she definitely, again, I want to see a belt back on her at some point. Maybe her Charlotte at SummerSlam.
Maybe. Well, that was just the first of many returns. You kind of touched upon it. The other big returns sandwiched in between. There's 2 more to come, but Trish Stratus returns, And I guess, can we see Trish Stratus on an extended run in WWE? Because this was really exciting. I mean, she always looks fantastic, but she never stopped wrestling. Like there's very little, like she did the Stratus faction like 17 times, but like very little ring rust on her part, in my opinion. I would love to see an extended run from her. And can we see it? Now it's WrestleMania season, and there's so much more to offer. Like now that Charlotte's already won, like I even said it when she came out to you. I said, could it be Trish Stratus, Tiffany Stratton? That would be a phenomenal match.
A triple threat, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I'd be more open to that. Yeah. I don't know how. Well, I guess Trish.
Well, because maybe it would help because Charlotte can pin Trish and get the belt and maybe leave Tiffany a little stronger without eating the pin. Again, this is us booking Mania. We got 3 or 4 months to get there, kid.
Well, overall, but overall, what did you think of Trish Stratus's return?
I guess it's so fun. I made the joke last night. It's like you have, I don't know, like Natty's cosplaying as her. And then it's just, when Stone Cold was like heel and Kurt Angle came out with that little cowboy hat and he was singing to Stone Cold in the back. That's what, like, Natty looked like she was wearing like a little cowboy hat, pretending to be Trish Stratus. And then Trish Stratus came out and it's like, oh, here's like the queen. You're supposed to look like this. I don't know, because I feel like she also had that match where it was her and Charlotte at Evolution. Correct? And then also she just had the run with Becky when Zoe was her heavy. Would you want to see, maybe she is what?
Zoe was just her, like,
I don't know.
Whatever.
Same thing. But could Trish be the feud with Tiffy before Charlotte? Because again, we saw her with Charlotte, we saw her with Becky. Maybe at this point, I would like to see her mix it up with some of the newer kids. And then, like, also in the match, I feel like Natty was like, again, maybe Natty just wants to absorb Trish Stratus, but it's like I feel like a lot of her stuff was with Natty, a lot of like the older gals. I would want to see her with Tiffy. Something, putting over, because again, her putting over Charlotte and her and Becky, and it's like they don't like. We got Elimination Chamber next, like Tiffy beating Trish Stratus at Elimination Chamber, or I believe there's another show or like a Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, like give her proper due with victory, because she getting put over by that.
Yeah, I think that would honestly do wonders for Tiffy.
Josh, why can't she just manage that? Well, Pure Fusion Collective, maybe. Give her PFC. She's already managed one of the members. Give her the rest. Give her the rest.
I don't know, because again, like I know she's come a long way, but I still don't think she's amazing on the mic to run a faction. And I feel like if you're managing a faction, you have to be the one to talk. But again, if you're paying money for Trish Stratus to be on TV for 3 to 5 months, you want her to wrestle. I could be wrong. Or she teams up with Tiffy. I don't know. I'd rather her, like, that would be a good for Tiffy, like an interim program before Mania.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I don't know. Let us know, where do you want to see Trish compete? Do you want to see her compete in an extended run? And who would you fancy book it with? I mean, the roster's now loaded.
Because isn't it like...
And Josh is kind of echoing it, but in a different way. He said that with this talent on this roster, you don't need Trish.
Right.
You don't, but you could put
she's putting over someone, yeah. It kind of is like, I feel like to me, like Pokemon. It's like Tiffy, like your Charmander, and then Charlotte is like your Charmeleon, and then Liz is Trish's Charizard. Is that like kind of like an evolution thing? I don't know. Or maybe
Nikki with the Pokemon references.
We're talking about that.
We're really hip on this show.
I'm Pokemon. So cool, guys. I watch wrestling. I play with my Pokemon. Like, real cool, guys. So cool.
Nerd alert.
Whatever.
But yeah, so we shall see where they end up. I hope it's not just a one-off, but
so I don't see
Mikey.
But him saying it's in Canada
Might do
makes
something in
me
Canada.
wonder.
Mikey knows where everything is headlining and going. He's like, he's marked it down. Mikey's like the not the roadie, like the planner, the city, that's the tour planner for both AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor,
TNA. So what you're doing
TNA,
CMLL now. New Japan.
HTML.
Stardom.
If you know HTML, he knows that as well. Codes.
You can program your toaster.
He'll program everything for you.
Mikey, we love you.
But that being said, again, Trish wasn't the last return. There was still more, and gotta give her.
Nick's got to support Nick.
Acknowledge me.
My girl came out. I feel bad. I wish they switched it. I wish she came out at 29 and Nia came out at 30 because I feel like kind of how we all booed Rey Mysterio when he wasn't Daniel Bryan. I feel like she would have got a bigger pop if we all didn't think AJ was coming out at 30.
That's fair. Well, you might argue if you missed it, Nick started her. Nikki Bella. Nikki for Nikki.
I love her. I loved her. I love her. When I don't know, I did call it. I think the thing is, she's on that show on Peacock Traders, so I think I'm cross promotion. But rumors is she wants to come. She's wanted to come back, and I think have her maybe do a Trish run 3 to 5 months. Put some of the young gals over. I think she's to me underrated.
See, that's where I couldn't like when we were doing all the pre for the show. I was like, do I remember much about Nikki Bella's career? I really don't. Other than Total Bellas and Total Divas, I really don't remember much about her in-ring career. I know she was champion, and I remember like the Twin Magic stuff is really mostly what I remember about her run.
She had that big at the end when she dropped the belt to Charlotte when it was like the Bella twins and Alicia Fox, and then you had the sororities. They weren't allowed to call themselves that, but like Paige, Charlotte, Becky, and then you had Team Bad with Sasha, Naomi, Tamina. But like them having the faction warfare, her doing the rack attack and like all that stuff. Again, I think she had that last one. That's so cool.
A great one.
Love that.
We do the Nick version. Nick star.
But no, I don't know because I think Steven said that's one off. So who maybe just a quick cup of coffee. I don't know, but maybe I think because she, did her and Roxanne Perez did the push-up contest, so maybe have her go in NXT and like her and have her go Jada Parker go over her, like something like. I think having that again, her being a 2-time champion, 3-time champion, I think 2-time champion. Again, putting over some of the new girls. Again, I don't want her to like be IC or United States or a champion, but like she can.
Well, now with the mid card titles,
Or
really
feed her to Lyra. Oh, that poor little pickle baby, Lyra and her thing.
Oh yeah, her top. She has the top issues. But wardrobe malfunctions happen sometimes. My pants struggle to stay on sometimes.
Oh God, I get moved more than anybody else in the world. But yeah, I just think it could that be someone you feed to Lyra to to have a good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with that. Yeah, I just don't think, like you say, like main event. Like I think she's a mid card.
Yes, at this point,
count.
yes.
And that's at the end of the day, that's kind of what I was like. Oh yeah, like 30, cool. But you can't touch. But I can look, but I won't cheer.
How dare you?
I'm not gonna cheer. I didn't think it was that great, but.
Again, I think they put her in a bad spot putting her at 30.
I don't know. You all let me know. What did you think? Do you want to see an extended run for Nikki Bella? Only if Brie comes back with her, and then
I think it'd be interesting to see her without Brie. You don't have your sister. You're not John Cena's girlfriend anymore. Show them what you can do.
It would be different. I mean, yeah, like show some personality, some charisma, something along those lines.
Because I also think that does her dirty. Because I feel like watching Total Divas, watching Total Bellas, watching like some of just their stuff.
5 years in, I'll cheer for it. You like me.
I just think she has more personality off camera than she does on camera. Or just like maybe not like obviously Total Bellas and Total Divas was scripted, but I don't know.
Josh thinks she'll be here for a couple months.
Yeah, I think just, again, put someone over before Mania, call it a day. Mama needs a paycheck. Let her wrestle.
Fair enough. So, yeah, that was the end of the surprises on the Women's Royal Rumble match. But, yeah, ultimately, Charlotte comes out on top and is headed towards WrestleMania as she gets ready to call her shot for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I guess we'll probably see that on SmackDown. Unless she pulls the swerve and then she challenges the NXT. She challenges Julia like she did with Rhea. Which she should have put Rhea over, but we got there in the end a couple years later. But I don't. Unless she puts over Tiffy at Mania. Again, I don't want to go down the Mania.
Mania.
I know we're going to be talking about this for the next 4 months, so strap in, kids.
Yeah, we got a lot to get through.
Go.
WrestleMania, but we are talking about Royal Rumble. Javier said the white woman won the Rumble. I mean, I think I picked her to win. I think it was the most logical. To me, I get Nikki's point. Jordan Grace, it would be a hell of a push. To give somebody.
Or is this also like? I know that it's a lot on the NXT booking that they're mimicking Shawn Michaels storylines. Is this Charlotte coming back from an injury? And I knew when she declared, but like the surprise coming back, or I guess we knew that Triple H was coming back.
But Javier did agree. He said, a debut and win at the Rumble is one thing that hasn't been done. It would be a hell of a push, and the women's division has been breaking ground. So I just think that it made the most sense at this point. But that would be a nice segue to build a star. Just be curious to see who they could put in that.
Stay tuned, kids. We're going to talk about this for the next 4 months.
Exactly. So we move along. So we're going to group these together, and we'll go over DIY and Cody Rhodes. Both 2 titles were defended and retained at the Royal Rumble.
To the surprise of nobody, I think. I think our consensus was DIY on the show. Friends over last night. Same with Cody.
Any thoughts on the DIY? I know you're going to end out DIY Motor City Machine Guns match.
Good match. I'm glad because we said this on Friday that the tag belts have not been defended on a PLE since Mania. So I'm glad this is getting the highlight on an actual PLE. I think this is kind of the right tag team because they're so, again, your tag team specialists. I love that these are not thrown together. I know at one point, Ciampa and Gargano were thrown together in NXT, but 100 years later, they're a cohesive team. Obviously, Machine Guns is, your favorite tag team's tag team. So it was the right 4 guys to put on a match because again, it's your first Royal Rumble on Netflix around the world. I think it's them put on the 2 out of 3 falls match. Like Wade said it in the beginning, how all of these people have such history with 2 out of 3 falls. So having this match stipulation makes sense. Having DIY go over. Having them do the fake tag, which was super fun. I feel like new for a WWE thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's like a smart Mark fan move.
Yeah, and then having the interference of I almost called them the New Day. Jesus, Street Profits, and then having them beat up both tag teams makes sense. So I don't know, this was the most tag team match to show to a new audience.
Yeah, I guess I get the feeling we're building towards yet as we're talking about WrestleMania, and it's WrestleMania season, like a triple threat or even a 4-way type, maybe ladder match or something at WrestleMania again, which seems like they always do with the tag titles lately. Like a little bit of a hot potato challenger. Like they don't feel like there's 2 teams that can carry the match alone, so they always put 3 or more teams in it, and like a free for all to get everyone's spots in. But yeah, to me, ultimately, it's just a smart wrestling fans match. Like that was what it was going to be, and you knew it was going to be like 2 out of 3 falls was.
Yeah, I get it. It wasn't kind of what people are echoing in the chat. Like I don't think it wasn't the best tag team match I've ever seen in my entire life, but I get why it was on and it did its job.
Yeah,
they're good hands. They're good hands. Good hands.
Hell of a hand.
Hell of a hand.
Mikey, we might do that. Underwhelmed the tag title match. I feel like a ladder match exchanged story and character development for one up on the other, who can one up each other with spots. Still fun matches, but not necessarily my favorite. Yeah. Exactly. So again, this match in particular didn't really didn't disappoint. And again, average, solid match between the two. But again, for a smart wrestling fan, like to notice the little subtleties that they do, you have to have watched a lot of good wrestling, like a lot of up tempo wrestling, like these indie wrestling matches as well. And that's what this was. Nikki, we move along to the, what do you want to call it? The semi
Cody Rhodes descent into
Rhodes.
Madness. That's what I'm calling it, baby.
So Cody Rhodes retains or obtains the Winged Eagle title, depending on how you want to look at it.
Wins it back.
In, I would say, a really good ladder match. I would rate the ladder match pretty.
So
It's like another classic Cody Rhodes match. It's like all the historical spots. I feel like we hit. Like they used a lot. To me, it was interesting. They used the ladder, like breaking the ladder apart and using pieces of the ladder. Seemed more like an older school way.
I think I don't mean to cut you off, sweetheart.
Cut me off. No.
No, I'm just saying, bouncing off what you said, it was I feel like the brutality in this match. It wasn't, oh, I have to go up and get the belts. It's like, I have to beat the shit out of you. I am taking apart this chair or taking apart part of the ladder that holds the ladder together just so I can hit you with it. How many times was it in each other's mouth or choking each other with it? This wasn't like, I'm thinking, like more of a classic ladder match or you think ladder match is more high flyers of them jumping off and doing all these flippy doody things. It's just like, no, we're gonna just hit each other hard and throw each other hard.
Also, that back body drop spot that Owens did on the ladder wasn't like a normal typical spot where it's like right in the middle of his spine. That was brutal.
So like again, everything just felt everything was brutal in this match. The hits, the bumps, again, him taking that flat back on the ladder, they're gonna choking each other.
So the flat back, Cody Rhodes, this was a contender, the Fisherman Buster Bomb, whatever you call it, Fisherman Suplex Bomb, whatever, for my big Nick energy moment of the night as well. Because I thought, again, this is very dangerous move. You still have to land flat. The angle that he's twisting and doing it off the ladder onto another ladder, just absolute insanity to me. Big runner-up moment for me for big Nick energy moment of the night. But
then it kind of, because this is what, obviously after this match, after this move is when the match shifted. Because then it was just like, nobody moved. And then commentary got quiet. And then you see Nick Aldis and all the agents come out. Kenny Dykstra was there and Jason Jordan and all the people come running out. And Sammy's out there to check on them. And then you're kind of like, well, what's going on? Because then they were talking about, how his neck hit. They're like, oh, he hit his head. He fell wrong. But then you see Sammy come out and then he dips under the ladder because at this point there's a ladder bridge between the apron and the announce table. So instead of like, oh, you think something's wrong, they're going to move the things. But Sami Zayn was like, dip and dip. I'm like, all right, we're not done. And then it just kind of hit into overdrive. And then him going for the stunner. You hit the Cody cutter. You hit the crossroads. Now they're outside. Low blow. Then it looks like he's going to do the package pile driver onto the announce table. And I think again, shift, like everyone came out. We thought you were dead. All of a sudden they like went even faster. And then this goes into my
storytelling that the Cody,
that's a typical Cody match. It's like something devastating happens, and then he hulks up, like, and then this is my big Nick energy moment of the night when he goes. It looks like Owens is gonna do the pile package driver onto the announce table, and he turns it into an Alabama slam and hits Owens on the ladder so hard he like an accordion folds over. His head's in between the ladder steps. It was so, I think I watched this clip 4,000 times. It is so goddamn brutal, and it's my big Nick energy moment. Stamping it.
Well, watch it again.
Shout out to Bob Holly. But that was so brutal. So brutal. And then obviously he's out. Cody goes up and takes the belt down. And then because he's a little smarmy, I think he's leading into the heel stuff. He goes, like, basically walks over KO, goes back onto the commentary table with both belts, and celebrates. Like, over KO.
That's what KO did to him after he heard him.
Right, so I just think there's the little brutalness, a little of not caring, like the good meat baby face seems to be a little dwindling here. And I would love to see kind of Cody Rhodes' descent into madness, that the pressure of being the champion now, what, he's 300 days?
Javier agrees with you. He said the Homelander is coming sooner than you think.
But I think I want it to be a slow burn. It needs to be, because I feel like this is like the little hints of like it's getting too much for him. And also, like, kind of with the Punk promo on Monday, which I don't think we really, or was it whatever show it was that Punk
You're not the best in the world anymore.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I just feel like he's the white meat baby face that I'm the good guy doing the good things. I feel like we're slowly crumbling a little bit. I don't know. I'm here for it. I love Cody Rhodes. I love heel Cody. Like his
Cody is damn good. And like, we were watching like the dark Cody Rhodes.
Oh, like like so good.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you all think? Is he going into the darkness, the Homelander Cody, as so many people call him, as Javier so eloquently put in the chat, or is this just another phase of him just finishing his story with Kevin Owens?
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna write KO off for a little bit.
Well, it could go along with my Shield-ish story.
I can't even. We're gonna get. I can't even.
Getting that Shield version together, because as we go into our main event, Nikki,
baby
of the evening, he'll be Homelander. He'll be Homelander and Punk.
No. I feel like Drew would be a better Billy, but just going off the show. Obviously, he's Australian, not Scottish, but.
Fair. But, Nikki, we go into our main event of the evening, the men's Royal Rumble match, where, all week, all month long, everybody talk it. No more talking. Everyone's got something to say. They move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, because they all forgot about Jey. Jey Uso.
I forgot about Jey.
Wins the Royal Rumble match. Nikki, main event Jey Uso is going to main event WrestleMania. Main event WrestleMania.
Like, I think I said this a couple times last night, like, shocked. Like, was kind of, we're all thinking all the big, not saying that Jay's not a big name, but like all the big names, if you know what I'm talking about. And then he like won, and it's like, oh. But then it's like good when, again, we all know Charlotte was going to win, and I was convinced that John Cena was going to win. And then like this surprise that I felt like was a genuine surprise to a lot of people, rewatching it back and kind of hindsight, like looking back, I'm like, this is great. I kind of really do love this. That there was something I did not expect. I think obviously he's so over. He's was like top 3 merch seller in 2024. Like Ed said it in the group chat. I don't like Yeet Mania. Like that's gonna be a thing. Like kind of like Yeselmania and Kofi Mania. Like whatever Yeet Mania is gonna be. Like I'm excited. I think him and Gunther maybe either open or close night 1. Again, I think he deserves it. I think the transformation that he has had as a character, even in the short amount of time when like with Bloodline to now main event, even like him and FCW and him, they transformed into like the Uso Penitentiary, and then this now like I feel like he deserves this, deserves the flowers, deserves the praise that he's put in the work. He's over. Like, why not? I'm not mad at it. I'm really not.
I mean, I said it a couple of times before on the show where I said he's got so much momentum that you don't want to lose it with him and before it's too late. And when he won the Intercontinental title, I said, I don't think that was the right belt to put on him, because you could have made him the World Heavyweight Champion then, and as he had the momentum, and you don't want to lose that when you have it. Because I think there's people like for instance, like Sami Zayn, I think lost a lot of momentum where he could have been a world champion, with like a big time main event world champion to carry, like a WWE champion to carry the company last year with all the Roman stuff, like in the Usos stuff, like the Usos stuff. Like I think you have the ability to do that. You don't want to lose it when you have it. It's like a flame. Like the flame eventually is going to go out, and sooner rather than later, this might have been the last opportunity they get to put the belt on him, or to give him that moment. And if you're trying to build up another star from the bloodline, or from that group, or to do everything again, I said it in the beginning, it's a singles company. It's a single star company. It's not a group company. You have groups over time like DX, the bloodline, whatever, that come and go. But at the end of the day, all those guys have their own merch, their own character to build, and their own spots to sell, tickets to sell, whatever. So you have to do. And I think, at this point, given everything, the options that were left, this made the most sense. You have to keep the business moving forward with another star. And
I think this is them really building a star. I think he needs to cut that Triple H promo that I love so much. He's like, I don't need an Uso anymore. I don't need the bloodline anymore. It's about me. I don't know. I think I want to see him done with the bloodline stuff. Like, he won the Royal Rumble. He's going after Gunther. Like, leave all that shit on SmackDown. Like, I'm tired of him in the bloodline stuff. Like, he needs to do his own thing now.
Yeah, now he is. So I don't know. What do you all think? Were you happy with Jey Uso as the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble match? Did you want to see somebody else? Was there a better choice?
I think this is like a good surprise. Again, we were talking about like when we're surprised by, again, like last year, Cody Rhodes, we knew Cody was winning. We knew he was finally going to finish the story. Even the first one he won, it's like, all right, Cody's going to finish the story. Like, this feels like genuinely did not see this coming. Of all the stuff that I watch and read and we talk about, I didn't see anybody really talk about Jey. No. I think Lisa said it in our last night, but like, I don't know. It seems very much out of nowhere. I'm very here for it, very much about it. I'm excited to see where this goes.
For sure. Well, let's talk about the match itself as we get into it, because there is some drama and some surprises.
There's so many good stuff.
So many ups and downs. So, Nikki, get right to it. AJ Styles returned, a big shocker.
With his old music, thank the Lord.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on AJ Styles coming back? Because no one thought, you told me I was going to pick him for the show. You talked me out of it.
I talked you out of it.
I literally was just, AJ Styles is my return. No, Randy Orton's more likely. Unbelievable. I would have had two great moments. I would have had Charlotte winning and AJ Styles as the return, and I would have had a nice little sweep, but no. To get
I didn't tell you to listen to me. Of all the time, you really pick and choose when you listen to me and you don't listen to me. And I'm glad it's wrestling stuff. No, I'm glad he's back. I think he looks great. I feel like this is sort of like the AJ of old. I don't really know where that Healy character with him. I don't want to see him in LA Knight again. But him having his old music back, I really want kind of like babyface AJ.
It's got, well, especially even though they're on different brands. And we're going to go into the other big storyline, like if potentially what we talked about last, except Rollins is turning heel, you need another big face, and I think AJ Styles is the perfect guy to do it. He's a perpetual face. He's a great baby face. That I also think he'll probably have another. You saw he was in there with John Cena. I think he'll have another
beat up John Cena.
Yeah, another beat up John Cena match. To me, it'd be very interesting to see. Does he go in the mid card? Does he, with Nakamura there? But Uncle Dave said he was too hurt to return at all.
I know, and I told Nick that, and Nick believed me. I don't know. I kind of want to see him on Raw. I don't want to see him again. I don't want to see him with LA Knight again. I want to put that to bed. I really don't want to see him because that was where he got injured was the match with Carmelo. Don't really want to see that. Put him him and Nakamura are dead to me. I don't want to see that. Put him on Raw. Put him with Penta. I want to see that match.
Yeah, there's a lot of Raw's got a lot of good.
Or like
Gable,
Cable, like put him a match with him and Breaker. Like I don't know, I think there's more things I want to see with him on Raw than him on SmackDown. I feel like we kind of need to leave that behind because I don't know.
Josh said he wants him against Andrade. It'd be a good match.
Oh, Andrade.
But another one that was he wasn't Rumble, right? Yeah,
he got eliminated by Jacob.
He says put him back in. Well, I think he'll go back maybe for like a Hall of Fame run or something like that. Didn't they already do that? Steven said he's gonna get Logan Paul. It seemed like they were kind of setting some of that up. That would be a nice. I mean, in-ring match, athletically.
Yeah, and that's fine because I don't want Logan Paul near any of the belts. So if a Mania match with AJ keeps him away from the belts, I'm fine with it.
That's fair.
Because also AJ losing to Logan doesn't hurt AJ.
Yeah.
But I'm excited that he's healthy again. All the sheets are like he's not coming back. So, and then like he tweeted like it's not good. Again, we're gonna smarks.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's again. I just want people to be healthy. If you're healthy and you feel good enough to go, then I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be wrong.
No, exactly.
And have them healthy.
Well, another person who was making his return to the ring, we already heard the announcement about it. John Cena was one of the final two in the match. What was your thoughts on John Cena's performance in the Rumble?
I'm the wrong person to ask. We grew up in the era that it's like, fuck John Cena. My guys, none of my guys, won. I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I don't care. I guess those acting classes are working though. The look on his face when he landed on the outside and Jey was inside. The stare down between him and Roman, cool. Him and Punk, cool. Seth coming to break it up. Again, I don't care. I don't care.
Well, we did have those moments, like you said. You did touch upon them. You have him with Punk and Roman, and then Seth comes out. So they did tease a little bit of some. Well, obviously there's history and friction between everyone. But yeah, I mean, I think Cena hits his spots. He gets about 3 or 4 eliminations. So
and it's just like it's just so cheap when like who was he scoring up? Was it him or whoever he was scoring up with? And he showed his T-shirt. It's like you can't see me. And I don't necessarily love I don't like that Braun Strowman came out sort of immediately dumped Jacob, but I guess as long as Jacob was in there, he did just get the Mexican Destroyer. But I just feel like the match on Saturday night's main event, and it was just like whoop, threw out Jacob, and then he gets low bridged out by Cena, and then dropped. Poor thing was supposed to catch Finn Balor. Poor Finn Balor just fell, and then you saw Braun Strowman was like, and then walked away and was like, well, you kind of just left Finn Balor to die. Poor Finn Balor. Oh god, but I just like I don't know. I don't love it. I don't care. I don't care about John Cena.
You don't want to see him get beat up?
Yeah, someone's actually gonna beat him up. I want like Braun Breaker to do his 25-mile-an-hour spear on him 6 times. You know how name redacted that we're not supposed to talk about anymore?
Yes.
When he did the 4,000 German suplexes to him, I need Braun Breaker to do that again to him. And then
he did I Show Speed. They have a picture of that. I just didn't like it.
Oh, that was
where the guy just got rocked.
Yeah, but I think maybe he's shades of his daddy and uncle.
Braun did the Aaron Judge catch.
I just feel like when he hit speed, there's rewatching him. There was some extra stank on that. And then when he fell, he basically just fell on top of him. You know how they always protect each other and move, but he was just like, oh, and I was like, get it. And shades of Bob Holly beating up the kids. I love it.
Well, ultimately, it leads in towards a triple elimination of sorts, where Punk eliminates Rollins and Reigns. They all go, and We'll just call it a melee ensues on the floor. A Seth Rollins ensued melee.
Well,
Where he stomps, he takes his opportunity because he loves taking his opportunities and cashing on Roman, and he gives a stomp to Roman, and then he goes after Punk. So the question then becomes, is that what we're heading towards? Do you want to see a triple threat, Rollins, Punk versus Reigns at WrestleMania? Are we seeing some sort of iteration of, the CM Punk Rollins feud is not over. It's not a one and done. Seth Rollins still has his hatred for Roman Reigns. You can mix this all in. Do you want to see this?
I wouldn't be mad at it, but I feel like we disagree on how they would get there. You very much want to turn my Seth heel.
Yes.
And I don't think Seth is turning heel. Tell me where the lie is in all of this. Again, he's very much I feel like Drew McIntyre is more heely, but he's that heel that's like, where's the lie? Tell me when I'm lying. Because it's like he has all the justification to go after Punk, all the justification to go after Roman. Again, before Cody, he was basically was a count out or whatever Rumble that was. He's the only one that defeated Roman Reigns with the DQ or whatever, but it's just like they have that history there. He has it with both of them, so I don't think that makes him a heel. Stop trying to turn my man heel.
I need to know who to cheer and who to boo. we discussed this.
I know. Again, not mad. I would love to see it. I think it's a good buffer because I don't know, unfortunately, I don't think Roman's taking a pin in it. God, I think if this is a triple threat, Punk can pin Seth. Because again, I don't know. You have to see where Paul Heyman fits into all of this, where this favor fits into all of this. After you showed Seth hitting the stomp there, he hits Roman with another stomp on the chairs, and then when Roman's laying down, CM Punk steps over his laid down body and stares at Paul Heyman. So there's something going on there.
Steven says night one closer is a triple threat.
Again, that has to be, because obviously Cody's gonna be night 2. Would CM Punk consider main eventing night 1 main eventing? You're not closing the Sunday show. But I think I wouldn't be mad if this is the way they go. But we got 4 months to get there. I think we're gonna see some shenanigans with Paul Heyman. And does somehow CM Punk get himself inserted in between that?
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see as we head on that road and that path. But it looks like the three of them are very intertwined. 3 of the biggest names in WWE right now, if not the 3 biggest. So it'll be interesting to see how the story unfolds. If it's a triple threat, or if there's just, they're all going to go there's going to be a singles match. Maybe Punk and Rollins stay that way and they keep Roman away from it for a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Let us know in the chat below what you thought. We want to hear from all of you. We are going to open it up shortly, Nikki, as we get your final thoughts. Before we open up the phone line, we let everyone know the call-in link. I think I did this already. Let me try it again. I'm going to put the call-in link in the comments below, or in the chat, I should say. And I think if I start, it pins it. But it's in the description. You click on the StreamYard link, and it'll take you to another page. Mute your YouTube page, and come on in and talk wrestling. Let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking. Royal Rumble 2025. What were your thoughts, Nikki? Wrap up.
I gotta say one more thing
before we open up the phone lines.
You're not talking about my Joe Hendry. Someone and
say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
So we knew he was coming out. Great reception. I'm a little upset that when he did his turn, they didn't zoom in like they were supposed to. He little best hits, him doing the big choke slam, the vertical thing, him doing the stomp. after the kip up, and then he gets hit by Jacob Fatu, and then Sheamus is like, "Hey, I was enjoying that," which I loved because you saw like Sheamus in the corner just watching. I love that he had a face-to-face with Roman briefly. I think it's someone that not in the only TNA hit on both the men's and the women's. Only TNA person signed. Like we were talking about Moose or Nick or who from the women's. We briefly talked about Rosemary. Again, the only TNA guy, their champion. When he came out with the belt, came out to his music, I'm excited for him. Again, I think he's going to be in WWE when he can be. But again, we said his name and he appeared.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
And I think, again, Jacob and Braun Breaker, stars. Yeah. Again, them starting with Ray Penta was so good. I can keep going, but let's get to our people. So I want to hear all that.
We want to hear all your thoughts on WWE Royal Rumble 2025. Click the link below or in the chat. It's pinned into the chat. And let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking about Royal Rumble 2025. Nikki, are you ready?
Huh?
I said, are you ready?
Huh?
Hit the snare. All right, Nikki.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Phone lines are officially open. We've done this a few times. But you know what? You can never get enough of it. Oh, wait. I got to go back to the beginning.
Even Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears.
I believe in Steven.
Steven!
Good evening. Happy Friday.
No.
That way.
Yeah. I see what he did there.
It feels like it's still the weekend.
I wish.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
Yeah.
So, Steve, what are you drinking? What are you thinking?
Just some tea today. Thank you. Gotta keep the voice intact.
Your angelic voice.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Where's Josh? Josh is.
I hope Josh is loving the shit out of this right now.
Well, thank you. Okay. Geez, where to begin? Not too many places to begin. There were only 4 matches. All right. Men's Rumble. I guess let's start there. To quote the immortal show Ren and Stimpy, no, sir, I don't like it. I mean, okay, Jay's over. Jay's really over, certainly. He moves a lot of merch. He can certainly cut promos. It's still, as far as I can see, the same wrestler we got a year ago in the ring, where we were all complaining about how not very good that match was between him and Jimmy.
The match was cut for time.
It still wasn't very good with the time they had.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other 2 times that they tried this, they didn't necessarily win the Rumble, but I can see kind of a parallel to, what they did with Daniel Bryan being an underdog coming in, and then a few years later with Kofi.
Mm-hmm.
And those two guys are better wrestlers, better in-ring wrestlers. I don't see how they're going to get there here, because like I said Friday, if you're going to have a big match like this, especially a big title match, it's got to seem like it's credible, to at least a certain degree, that the challenger can win.
Right.
He bought last year that Sammy could actually win against Gunther, and he did. I didn't think he was going to, but he did. That was believable. I can't believe it here.
See, that's interesting, because I'd argue that I have more confidence in Jey Uso beating Gunther than I do with Sami Zayn beating Gunther last year.
I don't know. I can, unless they have something in mind where they're going to, somehow take, get the shot away from Jey with some shenanigans and put Jey in another match. I could see it possibly being built up well if they did this. There's already this part of the storyline where, nobody, well, not nobody, but Gunther says you can't beat me. Jey acknowledges that he hasn't been able to beat Gunther so far, but he wants one more shot. If they took The Rock, not to put him in the ring, but made the storyline so that he is the one telling Jey, I did this for you. I made this so it can happen. You can't accomplish this without help from your brother or from me or from any member of the family. And just The Rock also running him down and weighing on his confidence. Then maybe I could possibly see it being built up to 2.5 months from now. I don't know if I could buy it. Point.
I mean, we're talking. I think if you're saying it's like as main event of WrestleMania is the reason why, because you want to have the biggest star to do it. I get your point, but I buy him as a champion, as a world champion. I get, like, if you're a purist, it's like, there's only one WWE champion in like the world. There's a world heavyweight, and like you're talking about like the Cody title, which I consider the WWE title. Like, yeah, I kind of get you're getting at, but I still believe he's the most, next to LA Knight, he's the most over babyface in the company. So if you're gonna put a rocket, strap it to anybody to be the next star, Jay's the only one who has I think enough momentum to do it at this point. Besides LA Knight, it doesn't seem like LA Knight. They definitely don't want to push him. I guess maybe he doesn't have the bloodline, dare I say, to get there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me ask you this. If this match were held tomorrow, who wins? If Mania were tomorrow, which we'd all be a little surprised at that, but, if it were tomorrow.
It has to be in April.
It has to be in April.
It has to be in April, Steve.
Yeah.
No, I get his point. Again, if this was happening for tomorrow, I think we'd all be Gunther. Again, like we need Jey to talk us into this match, because I agree with you. I think Ed and I had this conversation. We didn't really believe in Sammy until like him and KO had that moment backstage at Mania. Like you gotta have to convince me, and he's got 3 months, whatever, to convince me. But again, necessarily just because he wins the Royal Rumble, maybe they're not gonna have him lose, but like doesn't equal all the time winning the belt. I know it usually does.
I know.
But
I said that on the show. Stealing my lines. Unbelievable.
I don't know. I get what I don't know. There has to. He needs to learn like a new move or a new submission or a new
you
something.
You just don't want to see him do the spear. You just don't want to see him do the
spear.
He
had the shit spear. After all the spears and all the things that were happening last night, Braun Breakers is the best. I don't like Jey's, but like if he can learn a new move or a new submission and like choke out or make him tap or do something.
We'll see. Steve, second shot.
Second shot. The women's rumble. Like I said on Friday, they'll find a way for Io to get in the match, and Charlotte will win. And yeah, no, I think I just had the results reversed, because I did say I was going to win, and I'm like, oh, she's coming out at number 1. Oh God, there goes that. And they'll just find some other way to get Charlotte over to the match with Tiffany. In retrospect, I don't know if I thought that meant Charlotte winning the chamber, but I mean, that's a pretty sizable brace on her knee. So probably it was a good idea to have her, in hindsight, to have her win this way. And then you can just like have her do promos and stuff from now until Mania. And just keep her protected. I mean, please, they did it with Drew and Punk for 8 months.
Yeah,
you can do it with others.
Agreed.
Talk.
And they'll have Io win the chamber, and she'll get her match with Rhea that I mentioned on Friday. And I was impressed with I was impressed with both Rumble matches, really. But I was particularly impressed with the women's in terms of everybody that came in, I noticed, got a chance to go to center ring and do some highlight moves. Like,
right.
Not like they immediately went off in the corner and started wailing away on somebody. Just everybody got a chance to shine for, like, even if it was just for 15 seconds, center ring.
Yeah.
I thought that worked well, and I don't know if there was really anybody missing that week. Everybody said, oh, where's AJ Lee? Where's Becky? I don't know. I don't think AJ Lee was really, interested. I mean, who knows down the line? She's, from what I understand, she's got a pretty fulfilling life out of wrestling, and, maybe she just doesn't have the fire or the desire to do it. And Becky, I'm sure they'll get her in there somehow. I did notice Trish. I think they are planning some kind of a run for her. In that, did you notice her logo kind of in funny font to go with her initials in the logo said 25?
Yeah.
Is there a 25th anniversary already?
Yes, her debut was 2000.
So old.
Oh man.
I remember her debuting. Like, fuck.
Well, I looked it up because I thought I thought it was earlier than that. So I actually did have to look it up. No, it was March of 2000. That wasn't her in-ring debut, but that was her debut with it was in Albert, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just Googled it. Oh. March 19th, 2000.
Right. And the outfit she wore last night was the outfit she wore back then, the first outfit that she came out in. So I think they have something in mind for her as like a 25-year celebration.
Right, yeah.
And it's going to be like, her own little Eras tour, let's say.
Don't say.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, but we
were with our nieces today, and it was just like, Uncle Nick, Taylor Swift's gonna be at the Super Bowl. Kansas City's in the Super Bowl. They're gonna win the Super Bowl because Taylor Swift's gonna be there. It was a very Taylor Swift afternoon.
Yeah, Taylor Swift's winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Taylor Swift MVP. I guess they're 12 and 9. Or 12 and, oh my God, how old is Brooklyn now? I'm old. But no, like I would love that. And I think, again, her doing something with the younger gals. Again, I really would like to see her, like with Mikey confirming that if Chambers in Canada, her and Tiffy at that chamber, I want to say.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And I thought, even with all that, I thought Alexa got the pop of the night in the match.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope they, I mean, I know it's low hanging fruit to say put her with the Wyatts, but honestly, that seems like it makes the most sense.
Yeah, it should. I mean, it's nothing like, I didn't really like, that was my favorite character. The goddess character didn't really do anything for me. Like, that much. Like, she was good. She was good on the mic, but like, I really liked that whole, like, the fiendish, the Lily character, Lilith, whatever she was.
Lily.
No, she was working towards the, like, at the end.
Oh, her being Lilith.
Yeah, and I love that whole darker side of her. Absolutely, yeah. I would love to see that. Totally agree with you, Steve.
She pinned Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Again, like, I know this, like we said, low hanging fruit, but there's no way between her coming out with the doll, her in her jacket, her in all black, because, like, again, as a goddess character, like, her outfits were all different colors. And she had like the Buzz Lightyear one that she loved, like, just like her, the jacket, the doll, all black. They have to do something.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Steve,
Yep.
shot before we let you go.
Oh man, they planted the seeds for a lot of stuff for, you know, maybe not necessarily for Mania, but down the line. You know, just those face-offs, because you know they can isolate those face-offs and, you know, use them for like June or something.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff they tease, Penta and Jacob, come on.
Man.
In my veins.
You know, some of these matches, I still want that Ultimate X match between those three teams, and they can and throw the Hardys in there as well, because they have experience with that type of match too. Mm-hmm. And I do it, though it does look like AJ versus Logan Paul. I still want them to have one more shot, you know, at running back AJ versus Shinsuke, to replicate what they did in New Japan rather than what they did at Mania. What was it, 6 years ago, 7 years ago now? You know, give him one more shot, because I don't think it's longer for his career, sadly, you know, with the injuries and all that. I think he's sadly coming to the end sooner rather than later.
No, fair enough. I agree, and maybe with Shinsuke as U.S. champion, maybe that could be the WrestleMania match, running it back. But
because he two-time United States champion.
Yeah, I think 2-time.
And I don't see what they would do with that for Mania right now.
Yeah, which is, I kind of like, let's hook me in, build it up for the next 2-3 months. I want to see. I get a lot of intrigue.
Exactly. Steve, pleasure as always. Well done, sir. You, sir, are cut off. He's always bringing it. It's the real.
I hope Josh got his fill of Steven's voice.
He's a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
All right, Nikki.
Yes.
Are you ready? We're leveling up. We're leveling up.
I know.
There was a lot going on last night. There was, you said it. I think there was a little bit of a wardrobe. You brought up a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction going on in the women's match. So, you know, they're bringing the sex appeal. They're bringing sexy out a little too risque. So when we talk about sex appeal, there's only one person that brings the sex appeal. Magic Mikey. Let's bring him in. We haven't heard from him in a while.
Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, be iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story.
Mikey!
Hello. Hi.
Rat?
You get me on location today, so this was that.
Feel honored. Just feel so blessed. Cody Rhodes blessed.
Oh my
What are you
goodness.
thinking, Mikey? What are you thinking? What are you drinking for Royal Rumble 2025?
So I am currently drinking water to try and get rid of this cold, but It's okay. I'm on the tail end of it, so we're almost there. So, which is good because I have to chaperone a field trip tomorrow. So, yeah. So, but what I'm thinking is, so Royal Rumble's always weird for me because it's always the first big. Well, it's the first of the big four in the calendar year because it's always towards the beginning of the year,
Mm.
and while I do have some qualms about the actual show itself, I feel that most people need to remember that the Rumble is supposed to be fun. And yes, it does give us our men and our women's winners to pick their championship match for Mania. But people need to remember it's for fun. And I feel like a lot of the folks that I know and a lot of the folks that I have seen online in the internet space have kind of forgotten that. So that's what I'm thinking. Like I mentioned earlier in the episode, I was a little underwhelmed. I was a little underwhelmed with the 2 out of 3 falls tag match and the ladder match. While it was fun, carnage, and chaos, I feel that we kind of exchanged the. This is supposed ladder matches to me are supposed to be one of those gimmick matches where we have gone through everything else, and outside of a steel cage, we need to fight, and this needs to be I hate you, you hate me. Let's get together and kill each other with ladders and things like that. So,
Mhm.
um, and I feel like it was exchanged for more, hey, let's do this crazy spot and let's do this crazy spot. I will say though, I'm excited to see the Kevin Owens downward spiral continue as he
Mhm.
somehow, in his own delusion, blames Sammy for him picking sides with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
So
he
that
didn't stop Cody from going up the ladder to get the belt. So maybe
exactly,
should have done something. No,
exactly.
I agree with you.
Oh, I didn't think.
And I will say, I think the 2 Rumble matches I really, really enjoyed. However, as always, I don't, and this has been my whole thing since the Women's Rumble became a thing. I don't understand why we can't just let the Women's Rumble close, the show for a year, because the women have never really, the Royal Rumble, the Women's Rumble has never closed the show, at least to my
Mm.
knowledge.
I believe the very first one did.
Okay, that
I
would make a
believe
lot
it
of
was
sense.
2018, 17,
Something like that.
2018. I believe the very first one closed.
Okay, then
Because
that's the
that's when
case.
Ronda, like, Asuka won, but then Ronda had to come out and point
Oh,
weirdly.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot it. Ooh, I forgot about that one. But what I'm saying is that I feel that the show itself is great, but I would have shifted the order around a little bit. Though I am excited for the potential matches that we have and the stories that we're leading, because I think right now we have one, two, I want to say 4 in my head, I think we have like 4 or 5 WrestleMania matches already made. And I know that's crazy to say because we still have 2.5 months until April.
Mhm.
But I think the Rumble definitely started setting up a lot of the pieces.
Well, for sure. And the other thing is too, like a lot of these guys, like Roman, like Punk, even though he's kind of been around, like they're not around full timers to like full time. So yeah, like you kind of have to use Rumble as one of the big dates that you're going to use them for. So like I totally agree with you. Yeah, like, you have to maximize the little time that you have because they're probably going to do or even like Cena and all this other stuff. Like that's why I didn't pick Cena to win the Rumble, and I was shocked that he was in the last 2 because that pissed me off. He was the last 2 because again, like he hasn't been on TV at all since the Netflix debut. Like at least give one more your last run. Give one more shot. I don't care. You got a movie. Screw your movie. Like just the Rock
Well,
there.
Mm.
so I mean, I initially thought that too, and I did pick Cena not to win, but I put him in my final 4 when we did our predictions. Fun fact, none of my final 4 made it to the final 4. So I was very surprised, but I am in the camp. I'm excited to see Jey win, and I'm excited for him and Gunther to face off at WrestleMania. I think that's the match we're getting. And then for Cody, I think the final 6 or 7 that we saw are going to be our participants in the chamber. So I think the men's chamber is Punk, Seth, Roman. I think Randy Orton returns for chamber to be in that match. Um, and then two other folks. I forgot who I wrote down. But ultimately, I think Cena, duh. I think Cena wins the Chamber, and I think he goes on to face Cody. So I think that's the WrestleMania match. What I'm hoping is whether or not it's going to happen at a quicker rate, but I need to because Nikki, you brought up the fact that Cody stood over Kevin Owens on the announcer's table towards the tail end before we cut to commercial. I think that Cody will need to kind of have his own downward spiral because the story that I hope they tell, and this is again just me pulling at straws, Cena told Cody, the cameras couldn't pick it up very well with their audio, but we were able to make it out at WrestleMania in Philadelphia. Cena told Cody that the longer you hold that championship, every day it becomes a lot heavier. So what I'm hoping is that this heaviness to this championship with the legacy and everything, I want to see Cody start to go in a downward spiral in the sense where now he gets a little more paranoid. He starts to be a little more aggressive with his stuff, and the weight of the championship begins to kind of take the toll. Because lest we forget, Cody being babyface has, even before he was champion, he has taken on Brock Lesnar. He's fought Kevin Owens in this one. He's gone up against Roman and Solo and Jacob Fatu and the Bloodline in its entirety, witnessing Randy Orton. Like, being champion has had all these things happen. What I'm hoping for Cody is we start to see him become more Homelander Cody, is what we've called him. Because it's going to be really hard to try to babyface against the ultimate babyface of John Cena. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We literally had that conversation driving to see our nieces today, and I was like, oh, I think it's going to be Cody Cena, but then Cody has to be the heel. I want him to go a little crazy pants, and then it is too much. Because again, the promo with CM Punk, that it's, or you're like, you're losing your friends, where you're losing, like, and then I feel I just a slow burn, like he goes a little nuts.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that's the case for Cody. And then, of course, I think the Chamber also sets up Roman, Seth, and Punk. I think that's a triple threat for Mania. And then, of course, we get Tiffany and Charlotte, and Io versus Rhea is what. I muted myself right there. So, Io versus Rhea, I think, is what we're getting, and I'm excited. I can't wait. Also, I hope Sami and Kevin fight because I need that feud revisited. Because the last time we saw them fight really was Black and Gold NXT. So,
well put, Mikey. Well put as always. Last shot before we go. Where can everybody find you?
So you can find me at BC WrestlePod, as well as me and my now 10 co-hosts. So that's always the thing. So we keep expanding the family. It's crazy out here. So it's a lot of fun.
That's what it's all about. Building the community, right? Loving wrestling. We all love wrestling. We all come together. We love it. Mikey, always a pleasure having you. Cheers as we send you off.
Safe travel.
Yeah, safe travel. we world travelers.
I know. I feel like it was like an episode of Cribs, and he was just like walking us through his house. Mikey, we love you. Thanks for calling in. Safe travels, my friend. God, 10 co-hosts. I mean, me and you can't even get it together. Mikey's the best. Go follow him, Biconics. They're great.
Yeah. What?
All that said, though, incredible team effort, and I feel so lucky and blessed to have this opportunity and be here and be part of this. Everyone here, give yourselves a round of applause. This is unbelievable. Thank you, guys.
Round of applause, guys. Doing great. Doing great.
Before you do it, hit the old like and subscribe as people are popping in the chat and going off. Nikki, it's been a good one. We got one left on the line, still open. Nikki, you gotta say his name. We always have all these little. No, you say Josh. I say Josh, and you do that. Ready?
Forget it. It's ruined.
One more time. 3, 2, 1. Josh. Savior of the universe.
Savior of the universe.
Say what you tell me she's saying.
Oh no, I was like, we got Steven's down to a science. And I was like, Josh, you're next. We're gonna get yours on Steven's level.
I have faith in you guys. Truly.
Thank you.
Truly I do.
Here, Josh, what are you drinking? What are you thinking?
Well, just drinking on some water. That's what I normally am sipping on. Not really a big drinker, but
There, you don't have to drink. You drink whatever you like. If it's a bar,
exactly.
You just roll. That's what happy hour is about. It's about wrestling.
And that's what I enjoy about your bar. I can bring any beverage I want, and it's not a problem. And I can bring any thought I want within wrestling. And thinking of that, this Jey Uso. Okay, first off, congratulations to him. Main event Jey Uso. But I think we forget how much main event Jey Uso has let us down in the past. And maybe it might be because of other things outside of his control. It might not be. Who knows? But what we do know is that I personally on our show think Gunther is ready for a downfall. And I mean like falling to the bottom of the Grand Canyon and climbing himself back up. And that's how you get me more excited about Gunther. And to me, what would really screw Jey Uso over is, let's say John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. And let's say John Cena goes, you know what? You threw me out. I'm going to make your match a triple threat match. And he joins up in that triple threat match. Let's say John Cena wins. He gets his moment. Jey Uso destroyed. Okay. Gunther destroyed. Gunther losing to John Cena would completely change Gunther's trajectory, in my opinion. It would take him from this king that sits upon this throne, nobody can get through him, to being beat by John Cena. And wouldn't that be a great thing for John Cena to have become the all-time title holder and have this moment? And then Jey Uso, SummerSlam, him and John Cena go at it, and the match of a lifetime, to where John Cena can look at Jey Uso, pass the torch to him, and say, now you are main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso runs with his run, which when he gets that run, I think it should be at least a year, because that dude has been the Swiss Army knife of the WWE for so long, and he's been a yes man. Whenever they've needed him and his brother, they have been there. And they do a thing that I say on my show all the time. They found their 5 minutes, and they did the maximum exposure they could do in those 5 minutes, much like Jacob Fatu is doing right now, even outside the ring. I don't know if you guys seen this. There's a clip from some fans. Jacob throws his shirt that he was wearing that night, and it doesn't go over the fence. So he walks right back over. He throws that shirt, and it gets caught up in a tree. 10 different people are climbing this fence to get this shirt. And that's a superstar. That's on levels where people are clamoring to get your stuff. I mean, they're putting themselves at risk climbing this fence. So that's where my mind's going with this whole thing. I know it's out of left field, but I just think that there's a story to be told there, much like Jordan Grace. Now, if she would have won, there is a huge story I could tell there, from the rise in the indies to becoming TNA to hearing the criticism. She's just a cute face. She's just a cute woman out there. For her to take what they were saying at the beginning of her career and build herself to where she is now, that's a story. My state blew up for her coming out. Indiana showed up for the Royal Rumble. They were there. I know people who were doing the outside the WWE stuff, the surrounding promotions there, and Indiana just blew up. And that would have been a perfect way to blend in this new era of women's wrestling. And it would pay so much homage to Charlotte, Becky, all those women, and even what they're bringing in for Nikki Bella. I mean, come on. Say what you want about her career, what she did, but when she was on camera, her and her sister captivated the women's division for whatever it was at that time. They were the women's division. And now she's put in the work. She's done whatever she has to do to get back to this level. And she's doing it without her sister. I think that's fantastic too. And like you guys both said, I think we're going to see a whole new side of Nikki. And I'm hoping for the best because personally, but aside the men's division, the women's division to me has been the best it has ever been in professional wrestling. And I can understand the last caller, Mikey, saying that they should close out a show. This is why I don't agree with that. And it's because to me, every time we have a women's Royal Rumble, it seems more basically like answering questions that we have in the division. It seems like it sets up a lot more, like it's more dignified. To me, the men's Royal Rumble is just this big brute fest that we're going to see all these spots where guys come out. I mean, we had Ice Speed come out and get destroyed, So to me, I think that's where the fun comes in. And I don't know, the women's division, like right now, I'm just so excited. You don't understand. Nikki, I hear you talk about like when you were growing up and you were seeing John Cena, and like, well, I'm your twin in that one. But the women's division to me was like that also. Like when we were seeing all this grotesque just sexualization of women, it was like, that's when I was like, I don't like, why are we putting Victoria like this when I know Victoria is a badass and she could destroy Mickey James also. I was at that level, and Lita, I hated the whole, guess what, boys? I have a thong. Okay, who cares? No one really cares, especially in this profession. I don't think a thong's what you want to really be wearing when you're doing these flips off the ropes. Just my opinion. I don't have that equipment, but I would say I probably would want to do that if I did.
I feel like that's homework for somebody you need to do personally. Just jump off the couch or something.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm just going off my brain, but what I will say though is that Charlotte Flair winning, fantastic. I love Charlotte Flair. I love all the things that she has done for this division, this just wrestling in general. I mean, there's so many matches of hers that, like her Hell in a Cell matches, like, oh my God, those were amazing to me. And she had Sasha with her, but she made it work and it happened. So, I think where we're at today in wrestling is perfect and I love it. Hopefully Jey, hopefully what I said doesn't come true. Jey gets his run after WrestleMania, gets that win, and John Cena does his farewell tour. We know he's getting 17. We all know that, right?
I don't want it. I don't want it.
He has to get it so we can get rid of the
then fly Jon Stewart back in to interrupt the match. Like, it's not fair.
If anyone deserves it, like as a company, like Rick, I get the Ric Flair record, like I get it, and I was talking about this with Ed a couple weeks ago, like, and it was just like Flair might have like over 20 because they weren't acknowledged more than only the 16 were acknowledged, but like still there is if you're gonna break it, I can deal with it for this reason. Every single one of his titles are gonna be in the same company, and that to me, like, okay, like, so we're acknowledging, like, in theory, like, I could have been a TNA 5-time world champion, gone to AEW, been a 5-time world champion, gone to Ring of Honor, and then I could say I've been like a 20-time world champion. And all these companies that are gone and these like older companies, it doesn't have as much prestige as
you go tell that to fucking Booker T. 5-time.
Yeah. WCW.
Yeah, he's a 5-time.
Yeah, what is Ric Flair though? Ric Flair is
WWF, like NWA, every other.
But again, that's all WWE though. Like they bought WC. All technically, I would disagree that all that lineage is there.
I mean, I see exactly where you're coming from, but I think where Nick's coming from though, with it being one promotion. In today's era, that seems more impressive than, because people, honestly, Nikki, if you were to walk into a public place and you've seen 10 guys that were me and Nick's age, and you've seen 10 guys that were in their 20s, and you ask them about Ric Flair, besides wooing and THC products, what would they even really be able to tell you about Flair?
Is that what he represents now? Is that what Woo Energy is? No, Woo Energy I thought was alcohol.
No, he's got a Woo Energy. He's also got his own brand of THCs. He lined up with Mike Tyson. I don't know if you know this, but Mike Tyson had a Evander Holyfield edible ear that had a bite out of it. And he sold those things. Yeah, him and Evander teamed up with that. But yeah, I mean, Flair does all that stuff. He's on social medias doing podcasts. But people don't know the Flair that we don't know. They don't know the guy who had a heart attack in a ring. They don't know
I'm
the guy.
too old and too smarky that I can't. I don't want it. Again, but you're leaving. You're literally leaving in December, so you're gonna win. Then Bill me. Then who's gonna take the belt off him? Because then you're gonna lose it at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Then who's taking the belt off Cena at SummerSlam?
I say Jey Uso. That's who I'm saying. But outside of that, I mean, I don't know, because I say Uso because I feel Jey is the next John Cena. His merch sells off the shelves. Kids love him. They want to be around him. He's a vibe. He doesn't change character. People accept him for who he is. This whole yeet thing. He's got a one-word catchphrase. I mean, to me, he's the next version of Cena that this generation's going to get. And why not have John pass it over to him and instill the idea of why does Jey Uso have the title main event Jey Uso?
Yeah. He had the biggest, one match and he need to mention Jey Uso.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, think about that. The biggest question in wrestling and the biggest thing that you can understand as a wrestler from talking to people who've been to the top and held that belt to people who are just starting out, the biggest thing that you have to do is answer why. So if I'm presenting something to you as a wrestler, I want you to be entertained, but I want you to question why to the point to where my next actions tell you why. And Jey, I'm sorry, I love the dude. I think he's a vibe, and I think he is a main eventer. But if you're going to put that as your label, your trademark, why? Tell me why you're the main event, Jey Uso. And if you give me a spectacular match against Gunther, and you make me understand that, and Gunther can help tell that story, perfect. I love it. But I think adding John Cena to that match after he wins at Elimination Chamber, I think that would be the biggest thing, because then he could say that to Jey. He could be like, why are you main event? Why?
Yeah.
And it pushes everybody. I mean, if you want to build somebody on your way out, to me, build up Jey Uso. He's ready.
Yeah, that's fair. Good point. Josh, solid points always. Before we let you go, last shot.
All right, the last shot. It's the longest shot because, well, I got a lot going on. Tomorrow night, you can catch me and my crew in your house as we do our Monday night preview, where we talk about Monday Night Raw. We're going to have a Royal Rumble recap, and we're having the boss on himself, Alakan, house the concept. So join us, 7 p.m. It's on my channel. You do the clicks, do the likes, you'll find me. Outside of that, I'm on Fridays. I do ECW Extreme, where me and House, we watch ECW. We go back in time. 1997 is where we're at. ECW Hardcore TV. That's what we do on a Friday night. That's usually between 6 and 6:30, and it's a fun time. And then Sundays, it's a house party. Anybody who's in the house party and they're kicking and ready to talk wrestling, that's what we do, and that's at 11 a.m. It's a little brunch shot for you, but it's a fun time, and it's in your house. Yeah, bring a mimosa. Bring 2. It's usually a 2-hour show, so I will warn you, it's a 2-hour show.
Yeah, always a fun time. I always love listening to them chime in on their show. So check those out if you haven't yet. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit all the spots, as we like to say here in the wrestling industry.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
Josh, well put. Pleasure as always,
sir.
You, sir. cut off. I'm gonna hit the song because I like the song.
Savior of the universe.
Nikki.
Yes. Oh God.
Sorry, different cameras. We're doing camera angles.
What is this, Netflix?
Production.
Is there Netflix era?
It's the Netflix era. The Netflix era. We have new production values. We're bringing it all in. You just never know. You know, we got a lot of things on our list.
You just made the list.
All right, Nick. I am excited because we get to bring back an OG.
Oh, geez.
It's been a little over a year since we started this show. And this person has been with us since the beginning.
Yes.
You could say she's been a believer.
You can say that.
Usually we start with the ladies, but tonight we finished with the ladies. Bring on Lisa in her long overdue intro.
You love that. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I'm about to cry, you guys. That was awesome.
But Lisa, well, we're going to have to slogan this out. The catchphrases.
Oh my God. Thank you. That was awesome.
You know how long I've been singing that song all week long and nobody, not mentioning any names, didn't catch it? So many hints, and she should know literally every week. You know, there's no production meetings that go on in the show.
You just do things. I'm not involved. I just like to watch it unfold like everybody else.
You could just listen to the things I say too. That
Thank you. I love it. Yay! Oh my goodness. Yeah, you literally made me cry, Nick. Thank you.
Good job. Well, Lisa, you know, not everyone gets an intro. Some people get jealous because they don't get intros.
It should have been me. It should have been me. It should have been me.
It was you for a hot second, dude.
Stole his intro.
Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable. Anyway, what are you drinking? What are you thinking?
I'm drinking water. Rumble was amazing last night. I was very impressed with the women's Rumble. It was in my opinion, a stacked list, a stacked match for them. I feel like since they started, now granted, I feel like I've been watching a little bit more. I've been following a little bit more on Instagram, so I kind of understand what's going on more now. But when they first brought the Women's Rumble back in 2015,
I think it's 18.
Oh, 18?
I think it's 18. Maybe it's 16. They said there's been 8.
Oh God, I'm not doing math right now.
2018. Okay.
Yeah, 2018. There you go.
Steiner math is even harder.
But anywho, so when they first started doing this, there was certain names that they were bringing in from NXT that I'm like, who the hell are these people? Like, who's coming in? And now, like, this was the first Rumble where I'm like, okay, I know who this is. I know what they do. I've seen what they can do, and it was amazing. And Jordan Grace coming out at number 19 on my number was flipping. I was losing it. Went nuts last night when I saw her come out, and I was so happy, so pissed that she lost, but kind of understand why we're giving it to Charlotte. The queen is back. Yeah, I get it. Whatever. But But no, I was very, very impressed with the Women's Rumble. Tag match was pretty good. Had a couple of spots that were pretty awesome. The Cody Kevin Owens match, slow build, but that ending, holy crap. Oh my gosh, the one spot that Cody did, oh my God, I can't remember the name of the move, but when Kev slammed him onto the ladder.
The Alabama Slam?
No, not when Kevin did it to Cody.
Oh, the Fisherman Buster.
Yeah, Fisherman
yes,
Buster.
thank you.
That
I think we all thought Cody was dead because he wasn't moving for a good hot second. We're like, oh my God, is he like legit okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then and then Cody with that Alabama Slam. Oh my gosh, they put on a great match. The Men's Rumble was pretty good. Couple of good surprises here and there. Happy that Jey won. I was listening to Josh, and I get his points where it's like, why do you think your main event Jey Uso? And I'm like thinking back, I'm like, who did coin that? Was it Jey? Was it Pat McAfee? Because Pat. Was it Michael Cole? Like who actually started calling them main event Jey Uso?
I have no idea. I thought it was himself. Just himself.
Which makes
2-3 years now he's been main event Jey.
But I see where he's going. I don't want to see or hear John Cena be like, I did it, I made it, I'm number 17, I beat Ric Flair and this person, that person. I don't want to hear it.
I know we're the wrong kids to ask because we don't like John Cena.
Yeah. I was part of the Chain Gang Soldier. I was one of them back in the day when we had the Chain Gang Club going on. I was one of them. I had the badge and everything. I will admit it. But now it's just like I'm done.
You've seen enough.
I'm done. I don't want to see him anymore. He says it all the time. You can't see me. Well, I'm still seeing you. Why? Go away.
I know.
It's tough. It's tough sometimes with but like again, he's had a great career, so sometimes people deserve their flowers. So I get it.
He's had enough flowers. Don't tell me John Cena deserves more flowers. Get him in your face.
Did he ever have the Intercontinental Championship?
No, this is exactly what I said. So I said this on Friday. He's never had the Intercontinental title. So, all right, how about instead of giving him that record, you just give him something he never had before?
No, because Sheamus now. And if he takes that belt off Braun Breaker, I'm going to be even more mad.
True. Very true.
Because it's like, okay,
they can deal with that because like it's John Cena and like, all right, Braun Breaker loses to a Hall of Famer and arguably a Mount Rushmore guy. Okay, like you're still going to be a main eventer now because all right, your loss of the Intercontinental of the mid-card title is to a guy who's a Hall of Famer and a Mount Rushmore guy. You're going to do bigger things.
I know this is different eras, but Solo beat John Cena and then flipping Austin Theory beat him at Mania. I don't know. Super Cena can't come in and just take a belt to me. Like, IC World, WWE, I don't want it. I don't care. Like, I get having this last run. I get you want to wrap up your career, but to me, you don't need to wrap up your career with a belt. That's what I said.
She said it.
She said what she said, ladies and gentlemen.
Acknowledge me.
Yes.
Lisa, what else you got for us before we let you go here?
To be very honest, one of the things I've been wanting to say to you guys, as my my last shot, if you will, I also want to thank you guys. You've brought back my fire for this. I lost it for a very long time. And the only time I really, got excited about it was the pay-per-views. But you guys doing this and like having me on and everything has really ignited the flame again. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Again, I'm putting this together. It's like I want to sit at my bar, drink with my husband and our friends, and talk shit about wrestling. So that's all I want to do. So that's bringing you back in. I love that.
For being a friend.
Thanks for being a friend. Oh, I will sing Golden Girls all day. Don't.
Well,
yeah.
That's where I have to cut people off. Lisa, well done. Pleasure as
Love you, lady.
Love you.
All right. We're gonna send her out the proper way now.
Music.
Are you a believer? New intro. It's like a debut. It's like a return.
It is a return.
Return.
I do want to give a shout out. Putting it back up. The last two images of her video is Lisa's book. She's a legit fucking author. Badass. Google her. Find her shit. She's great.
Yeah. Published author. We get all sorts of wrestling fans on the show. Authors, wrestlers, fans alike. We just have it all.
I know. We're like a variety show. Maybe? I don't know. After a couple drinks, maybe we are.
Well, tonight we've had just an all-star cast of callers.
Really, all the good ones, all the best ones.
You might just say
it's banger after banger after banger.
Love it.
I was enjoying that.
You were enjoying that. Unbelievable. All right, Nikki.
Yes, big boss.
It's been a good one.
It's time to go to bed. Girl, like you don't crawl into.
Get through some couple last comments and catch up on the comments before we get out of
here.
Oh
yeah. I think Josh is preparing me for a lot of John Cena.
So you think the ladder match did his job and progressed Cody's character-wise?
Agreed.
Yeah. Josh is adamant he's getting Flair's record.
I'm gonna say this for the next 3. I keep saying 4 months, but everyone's like it's 2. I don't know time. I don't do math. I know. I'm literally getting ready for the next whatever weeks we have till Mania. I'm gonna say I don't want John Cena to do anything.
We'll see. Joe chiming in. Actually, I'm thinking about it. It makes sense for the business for John to get 17.
Again, it makes all the sense. Like we thought he was going to win the Royal Rumble. I don't want it.
I don't know if they're related. Joho and Lisa Fedorovich, author. Lisa, thank you so much for the books. Hey, we love the books. We make sure you read all the books, buy all the books, do all the things.
I know.
We love it.
Support artists. We say that all the time on the show.
The Disappearance is a book, not just what people do to us on the show and call once and don't come back. I'm just kidding. Making jokes. Trying to make jokes. Josh is preparing me for the next few months.
I know. That's what Josh, I have to prepare you to hear me bitch about John Cena for the next couple of months. Because I will do that.
I know.
Hated it.
I know. It's 2 hours in. It took me too long to drop that.
I know. Get that button ready because there's going to be a lot.
But let's let the newest Hall of Fame inductee take us out. Our not so CCO Triple H. Before we do that, hit the old like, subscribe if you haven't yet. Goes a long way. Make sure you do that.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Bring them friends.
Just tell someone.
And we'll be friends.
Yeah, we'll all be friends.
Make a new friend.
Let's let Triple H take us out.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. You know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
The chat is going nuts even as we're playing it out. And Lisa says a new book is coming out in just a few months, so.
You just made the list.
There we go. Add it to the list. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a blast. Royal Rumble was a blast. We will see you next Friday, February 7th.
This Friday? Next? I don't know how that.
No,
Is
it's
this
Shit,
Friday?
I did that wrong.
That's fine.
Well,
I don't.
You
Again,
screwed me up 'cause you
time
said
is a
it weird.
construct. I messed you up.
Yeah, you say it weird. You say like next Friday is like the Friday is like tomorrow.
So
You say
you're. I know I talk weird.
You talk weird.
I know we established this.
It's very confusing.
Get a calendar. Get a
But, hey,
color-coordinated
we're
calendar
here
like Mikey.
This Friday at 6 p.m. our normal time, as you can see. Okay, so hit the like and subscribe on your way out. We will see you at 6 p.m. Eastern, reviewing everything WWE, AEW, TNA. If they do anything significant, we're going to cover it. We're looking forward to it. So until next time, you do not have to go home.
But you can't stay here.